Now at noon, a judge has just appointed an interim sheriff in Hall County. This comes after Sheriff Gerald Couch was suspended following a DUI charge. Here is the new sheriff in town. Major Chris Matthews was sworn in this morning and will immediately take over sheriff duties. Governor Brian Kemp suspended Couch for 60 days. Couch was charged last month with DUI, failure to maintain a lane, and an open container violation. Georgia State Patrol says he was driving a county-issued vehicle when he was pulled over by a Hall County deputy.